Well, keep height, no? That one, there's one more table there. Shift that table. So we'll do a little kirtan before I start. So we have youth from Bhiwandi. How many devotees from Bhiwandi? How many from Juhu? How many from Surat? Kalyan is included in Bhiwandi, no? Hare Krishna. Another one? Okay. Hare Krishna. This is only one speaker on. Okay. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Radha Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari Yashodanandana Braja Janarandana Yashodanandana Braja Janarandana Yamuna Tira Vanachari Yamuna Tira Vanachari Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari Yashodanandana Braja Janarandana Yamuna Tira Vanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaura Bhaktavrinda Prabhu Nityananda Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shri Radharani Gaura Bhattavrinda. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, जय ओम विश्वपाद परमहंस परिव्रजकाचार्य अष्टवत अष्टवत श्री श्रीवांकित भक्ति वेदांत स्वामी श्रील प्रपाद की श्री हरिनाम संकीर्तन यज्ञ की बताए गौर प्रेमानंदे हरि हरि बोल हरे कृष्णा So welcome all of you on this auspicious day of Makar Sankranti to Sri Jagannath Temple, Jagannath Baladev Subhadra Temple. All of you took darshan of the deities down? Okay, so I'm very happy to be with all of you, the young and the bright, the future of the nation. Youths are the future of the, isn't it true? Youths are the future of the nation. So I'm so nice, so young, bright faces over here, and this is a magic. It's a magic, Once Srila Prabhupada was preaching, so some Indian gentlemen were asking Prabhupada, Swami ji, कुछ चमत्कार दिखाओ. Because nowadays चमत्कार को ही नमस्कार है ना. Swami ji, कुछ चमत्कार दिखाओ. Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada, he said, I am showing you a miracle, he said. I am showing you a miracle. Show some miracle. Well, I am showing you a miracle. He said, and then he had his all young American and European disciples seconding in front of him. And Prabhupada said, Srila Prabhupada said that these young boys and girls, American and European, they were very addicted to all sinful activities. Eating meat, drinking alcohol, illicit sex life and gambling. And they have given up that. Isn't it a miracle? They have given up that and taken up a pure life based on the teachings of the Bhagavad Gita. Isn't it a miracle? So today also there's a miracle. On the Sunday, you have 100 plus youths coming for a spiritual program. This itself is a miracle in India, no? Sundays you have matches, or there is a T20 match, or you have your own match, Nowadays, do young generation plays cricket like we used to play 20 years ago? Outdoor games are there, so active like before? Like we used to play cricket, it was a madness, 20 years, huh? It's all esports now, huh? How many of you play cricket regularly? Oh really, yeah? So less. How many if you do outdoor sports often? Outdoor sports. What do you play? That's a gym. That's a workout. You? Professional. Professional cricketer? Acha, which team? Oh, good. And you? Cricket? Good. Who else was? Volleyball. Acha. And nowadays volleyball has become famous, no? Who else? Football. But very few comparatively what we used to play. Very few. So it's a very nice to see that young devotees coming up on a Sunday and coming for hearing Krishna consciousness philosophy, hearing the teachings of the Bhagavad Gita. I'm very happy, and I really thank all of you for taking this decision to come. So now before I start, I wanted to know a few things from all of you. Some of you can raise your hands and comment also. How many of you have been coming to ISKCON programs for last 1 year? 1 year and more than 1 year. 1 year and more than 1 year. 8 months. Last 6 months. Last 3 months. Okay. So I will have 2 questions. Okay. For devotees who are 1 year and more, and then the boys who are 6 months and more, and boys who are 3 months and more. Okay. So I would like some students who are coming last 3 months or less or more than 3 months. I would say 3 months and less than 3 months. Please share something which has actually really helped you to understand little more than what you learn in the school and colleges, and share that. Anything, please don't. You have another mic? Is the mic rolling around? Or I can share this mic. No. Yes, 3 months. Who are that 3 months and? Yes, please. You're from? Bhiwandi. You tell your name and then you share. Mic will come to you. You can go on. I can repeat. You can please share. Yeah. One minute. Yeah, you can just share what your experience is. Yeah. Who is Girish? So last 1 month you are coming. Huh? Very good. You look like some 1 year you are coming.
I'm from yes, doctor. I'm from Bhiwandi, and I'm coming from last 1 month. I have come at first time I came and I have met Prabhuji in a very good, and after that he never encouraged me to come to Tirupati bus party. Then I have worked.
Oh, you went on the bus. That's why you're shining.
And I'm his lot of enjoy and best friend is of my life.
What do you do?
Yes, Prabhuji, I'm
11. Where do you stay in Bhiwandi?
no, I'm staying there.
Kalyan. Where in Kalyan?
I'm Adar.
Good, thank you. Some other devotee boys? Yes. You are more than 6 months. I'm asking 3 months and below. Yeah. Share something what you learned also, and which inspired you to come.
यहाँ पे आके मैं 2 चीज़ सीखा हूँ। सबसे पहली बात तो मैं जब भी काम पे आया मतलब अगर कहीं भी काम तो माइंड स्टेबल नहीं रहता।
आप कहाँ पर हो? कहाँ से हो?
भिवंडी से पद्मानगर से हूँ मैं।
पद्मानगर में किधर?
पद्मानगर में नीलकंठेश्वर मंदिर बालाजी जी।
नीलकंठेश्वर बालाजी मंदिर।
बालाजी जी में नीलकंठेश्वर
ठीक है, कहाँ पर, अंदर क्या?
थोड़ा ही अंदर जाएंगे। तो यहाँ पे मैंने 2 चीजें सीखा। पहली बात तो इमोशन को कैसे डील करना, कहीं पे मेरे को सिखाया नहीं गया, ना स्कूल में ना कॉलेज में, या ऑब्वियसली घर की कोई भी अगर बात आती है, खुशी आती है, तो कैसे डील करके कभी सिखाया नहीं गया। कभी खुशी मिलती थी, मैं ज्यादा एक्साइट हो जाता था, थोड़ा सक्सेसफुली करने एरोगेंट हो जाता था, अगर थोड़ी सी फेलियर में काफी डिप्रेशन में जाता था और मैं खुद को ही बहुत हर्ट करता था। अरे वो ना चिल्लाना, खुद पे चिल्लाना, खुद को दोष करना, ये सब करना। अभी वो सब बंद कर दिया मैंने, क्योंकि समझ में आ गया वो चीजें आते रहेंगी, जाते रहेंगी, रिएक्ट करता रहेगा। ये चीज मुझे इस बात से सीखने मिला कि अगर तुम लाइफ जी रहे हो तो तुमको सुख भी मिलेंगे, उसके बाद दुख भी मिलेगा, तो दुख आ गया तो बाद में सुख मिलने वाला है, और सुख आएगा उसके बाद दुख मिलना ही है। तो दोनों में वो बैलेंस रहेगा, ये चीज मुझे सीखने मिला। और कभी अगर मेहनत कर रहे हैं तो उसका फल एक्सपेक्ट नहीं करना चाहिए, ये बहुत चीज मुझे सिखाया आज तक।
बाप रे, आधे लोग भाग जाएंगे, सीक्रेट बता दिया तुमने। गुड, वेरी नाइस। क्या नाम आपने बताया?
किशोर।
पूरा नाम क्या है?
किशोर ये मेरा नाम।
तेलगा?
यस।
निन्गा तेलुगु नहीं?
ओके।
यस, या।
हरे कृष्णा प्रभु जी। मैं डिवोटी से आया हूँ एंड मैं थाने से हूँ, ओपी से। सो मैं 3 मंथ से आ रहा था, बीच में स्टॉप कर दिया था मैंने फोन, आने बंद हो गया था। बट ऑटोमेटिकली कृष्ण भगवान खुद मेरे ड्रीम में आके मुझे कैसे कैसे करके ले आए। सो मैं बहुत पैनिक हो गया था अपने लाइफ में। 3 महीने में मैंने जो चीज़ सीखा, जो कोई लाइफ में सीखा।
जो सीखा उसमें से एक कुछ बताओ।
हाँ, सबसे पहले मैं बचपन से एक सॉन्ग सुनता था, मैं म्यूजिशियन हूँ, गिटारिस्ट हूँ। सो मैं
क्या हुआ?
सॉन्ग गिटारिस्ट प्ले करता हूँ, सॉन्ग प्ले करना, गाना गाना, कॉलेजेस में, स्कूल्स में।
म्यूजिशियन है आप क्या?
यस। सो बचपन से सिर्फ कोई ना कोई रैप सॉन्ग, कमर्शियल सॉन्ग, बॉलीवुड सॉन्ग ही गाता था। बट 3 महीने से सिर्फ भक्ति सॉन्ग गा रहा हूँ, सिर्फ भक्ति सॉन्ग सुन रहा हूँ। ऑटोमेटिकली माइंड से सब सारे सॉन्ग निकलते गए, सब सब टोटली। सेकंड थिंग कि मैंने बहुत टाइम तक मैंने ट्राई किया नॉनवेज छोड़ने के लिए, आज तक कभी कोशिश ही नहीं हुई। बट जब से मैंने सॉन्ग ज्वाइन किया, आज तक नॉनवेज खा ही नहीं पाता ऑटोमेटिकली।
वेरी गुड।
और जब मेरे को कुछ इशू होता है, कुछ चीज़ का टेंशन होता है, एंड वो टाइम पे अगर कोई मुझे छोड़ना नहीं बताया, ऑटोमेटिकली मैं अपना चैटिंग मारना स्टार्ट कर देता हूँ, अपना समझ में आता है करना क्या है।
Very good, very nice, thank you. So abhi 3 very nice experiences from devotees who are coming, students who are coming from 3 months. Now let's hear from 6 months, जो 6 महीने और 6 महीने से कम. Yes.
Hare Krishna. So my name is Harsh. My name is Harsh. I'm coming from last. So my first yatra was.
From where?
I'm from Navandi, but I come from Kalyan.
Kalyan. Okay.
Yeah. So my first yatra was last week, and I speculated many things in this 6 months. Life, life was always on spiritual path, but many things guided. My own philosophy has been changed from what कर्म कर फल की इच्छा ना कर to be detached to many things. So this is how I got connected with Krishna from SOS. And then I started taking lectures of Prabhuji and
Prabhu.
yeah.
Prabhu. Wow. He's here? Oh, we miss him.
They both have guided me very well, and I'm very happy right now. Even though I was going to come today, still it told me just go to the lecture, and I'm very blessed to sit here.
Good, very nice. What do you do?
I'm also a musician and a freelancer.
Musician,
Yeah.
freelancer. What?
Freelancing content writing. I'm a web writer.
Content writing.
Yeah.
And musician also.
Yes.
What instruments you play?
I play piano and guitar.
काम कर. Krishna consciousness is all about Sankirtan, नहीं तो बहुत काम का आदमी है. It is such in the spiritual world, every talk is a song, every walk is a dance. With the background musicians like you. Thank you. Someone else? Some share from Jew also. Jew वाले है कि नहीं?
जय कृष्ण प्रभुजी, मेरा नाम विशाल गुप्ता है, मैं कृष्ण भिवंडी से हूँ, रहता हूँ कल्याण में। मैं एक प्रोफेशनली क्रिकेट खेलता हूँ, बट मैं जब इस्कॉन ज्वाइन किया तो मेरा लाइफ में बहुत कुछ चेंजेस आए। जैसे कि मेरा इस्कॉन के ज्वाइन होने से पहले मेरे बहुत सारी लाइफ इन्वॉल्वमेंट सब निगेटिव इन्वॉल्वमेंट थे, तो मतलब सब कम्युनिटी इन्वॉल्वमेंट थे टोटली। सो जब से मैंने इस्कॉन ज्वाइन किया तब से मैं बहुत कुछ मतलब अपने जीवन में चेंजेस लाया। अब चैटिंग स्टार्ट की तो मैंने सीखा कि माइंड पे कंट्रोल कैसे करना है। मैं भगवत गीता क्लासेस वगैरह अटेंड शुरू किया तो मुझे मालूम पड़ा कि क्या गोल है, और गिरीश प्रभु जी से मुझे कनेक्ट हुआ तो मुझे काफ़ी कुछ उनसे भी सीखने को मिला। तो काफ़ी कुछ चेंजेस आया जब से मैंने इस्कॉन ज्वाइन किया।
वेरी गुड। आप लोग सबसे इतना तो पता चल रहा है गिरीश बहुत काम का आदमी है। He is doing his duty very nicely of connecting people and sharing whatever has touched him. Very good. Yes? उधर दो माइक। Yes, बोलिए।
Yeah, so first of all, I want to clarify. I come from last 3 months, not 6 months. So I learned here what is A, B, C, D in SPON when I joined. So A means association of devotees, B means book, C means chanting, and D means right. And all this thing was like taught by Sitaram Prabhu. I am very thankful to him. I just joined like last 3 months only, and I have learned a lot. So thank you to Sitaram Prabhu. And I'm a practicing advocate at Bombay High Court. I come from Prabhuji.
You're practicing?
Bombay High Court.
अच्छा।
Yeah.
Practicing lawyer?
Yeah. Practicing.
In what field?
Criminal, real estate.
ये भी बहुत काम। So you want me to speak in Hindi or English? English? How many of you say English?
English.
Raise your hands. मराठी येते नाही बरं. हिंदी 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 and English both? तेलुगु? सब मेरे गाँव वाले हैं. But you have your regular sessions in English, right? All of you have your regular sessions in English? ठीक है. I will speak in English, crack jokes in Hindi, ठीक है? Hare Krishna. So it's very important. I just wanted to know all of you a little big introduction from what levels of Krishna consciousness you're coming, and also just to know, hear from you, some of you, so that I can also connect with you. So we all, when we come to Krishna consciousness, one of the first things which we are introduced to is ourself. Correct? Ourself, isn't it true? What is ourself? We are not this body, we are the soul. So this is one of the first things which we are introduced, that our preachers will tell you, have you seen a dead body? What is the difference between a dead body and a living body? And then you say, it doesn't have movement. And then you say, chala gaya, kaun chala gaya? All your teachers told you this? चला गया, कौन चला गया? Isn't it true? No? हम लोग कभी मरा हुआ आदमी देखते हैं तो बोलते, उसको देख के बोलते चला गया. अरे तो सामने है, राइट? करेक्ट है कि नहीं? देख के उसको बोलते चला गया, मगर वो तो सामने है. और चला गया बोल के उसको जला देते हैं, जबकि वो सामने. तो कौन चला गया? हाँ, सोल, आत्मा चला गया. तो ये सबसे इम्पोर्टेंट चीज़ है स्पिरिचुअल लाइफ में जानने के लिए. ज्ञान के माध्यम से सबसे इम्पोर्टेंट चीज़ है ये जानना. दिस मोस्ट इम्पोर्टेंट थिंग टू नो. दिस इज वेयर आवर इंटेलिजेंस बिगिंस. बिफोर दैट वी एक्चुअली इफ वी डोंट हैव नॉलेज अबाउट हु आर वी, हु इज गॉड, what is our relationship with God, and what is the purpose of human life. हम कौन है, भगवान कौन है, हमारा भगवान के साथ संबंध क्या है, और जीवन का लक्ष्य क्या है. अगर हमको नॉलेज नहीं है तो शास्त्र क्या बोलता है मालूम हमको? हाँ हाँ हाँ, हम लोग पशु है, वी आर स्टिल एनिमल्स. एनिमल्स विथ 2 legs एंड टेल. जनरली 4 legs और 2 legs और टेल भी होता है. एनिमल्स विथ 2 legs एंड नो टेल. No tail. Till then, until this knowledge is there, this is what makes us a human being. ये हमको मनुष्य बनाता है, ये जानने से. उसके बाद में हमारा मनुष्य जीवन शुरू होता है. So you can all consider the day you came to know that you are not this body or spiritual, your spirit soul. You can consider that also as one of your birthday as a human being. You know, the day you are introduced to that. That's how you become human as an intelligence. Otherwise, we're just living in this world wherein we just chalta hai, chalte raho, you know, no direction. We come to know who are we? Oh, we are the spirit soul. आत्मा है हम लोग, और ये शरीर से हम लोग अलग हैं. जब ये पता चलता है तो मतलब see, it is called higher values, and we are not introduced this in our schools and colleges. Anyone knows the reason behind this? Why we are not introduced to ourselves in schools and colleges? Sorry? Yeah, they don't have a Bhagavad Gita. They don't have spiritual. They don't have knowledge in the schools and universities. Anyone knows why the schools and universities don't have spiritual knowledge? Huh?
Because they live in a mythology.
Which?
In order to do sense gratification, they want to negate God.
In order to do sense gratification, they want to negate God. Very good.
Because Bhagavad Gita talks about purity, and all the schools and business want business from them.
Good.
They are cheaters, not teachers.
They mention God as mythology. आपने ने सुना the great Indian mythological epics, Ramayana and Mahabharata. Have you heard that? Mythology means myth. Huh? Then who will follow a myth? You need to follow a myth? No. Ram or Krishna mentally बनाए हुए लोग हैं. Now I'll tell you, I came across yesterday one letter. One Prabhupada's disciple, he wrote to Srila Prabhupada. And he wrote that why the Indians are so dull-headed spiritually. He asked a question to Srila Prabhupada, why the Indian youths are so dull-headed spiritually? All of you agree Indian youths are dull-headed spiritually? Yes. So then Prabhupada replied, very nice reply he gave. In answer to your question as to why the Indian population is so slack in spiritual life, during the British rule, there was a secret policy by the British to cut down the Vedic civilization in India. There was a confidential policy by the British government to kill India's original culture. And everything Indian was condemned. From the very beginning, they took this position. In our childhood and the boyhood, we had to read some of the books by Mr. Ghosh called England's Work in India. The purport was that we are uncivilized and the British had come to make us civilized. Later on, the policy became so successful because in our childhood days only, the ankylosed gentleman was considered to be advanced in civilization. You understood? So it was a very systematic plan. It was a very systematic plan to make us feel that we are uncivilized. Understand? Uncivilized. Uncivilized मतलब जीना आता नहीं, स्टाइल मारने नहीं आता है, you know? अच्छे से स्टाइल मारने नहीं आता उसको. how to, you are civilized, you are introduced to a civilization which goal is self-centered, which only teaches you to be selfish, teaches you to be, sense gratification is the goal of life, achievement is the goal of life, and if you don't know to impress the opposite sex, you are really useless. That kind of civilization we are introduced to. And we go mad behind that kind of civilization. We were introduced to this civilization properly deprogrammed. Very, very properly deprogrammed. And generations are going mad behind it. And it is not that हम लोग ये पढ़ रहे हैं, हम लोग इतने ज़्यादा डल होने का कारण इसमें रिप्लाई में है ना कि हमारे दादाजी यही पढ़े, हमारे पिताजी यही पढ़े, हम वही पढ़ रहे हैं, हमारे आगे जनरेशन वही पढ़ेगा. We will become dull. Dull means they wanted slaves. What did the Britishers wanted? They wanted slaves. So they introduced the education system which only brings a slave, mentality of a slave. डर के जीना, झुक के जीना, competition करना, self-confidence नहीं. They introduced the education system like this. Always be in competition, always be envious. That's the education system which we introduced. That's why there is so much of a chaos. And then above that, the modern, those who have been in Bhiwandi, they must have seen, being a small town, they know families living together, right? Four brothers still living together. Isn't it true? And then they separate. Once they go to universities and colleges, and educated wives, they separate after some time. नहीं? सबको मेरा हिस्सा मुझे दे दो. Isn't it? मेरा हिस्सा हमको दे दो. But that's not the Vedic culture. The Vedic culture was that the elders would be worshipped like supreme personality of Godhead, because they also had qualities. The ideals of the elder citizens or the eldest in the family would be like Lord Rama, be like Lord Ramachandra, follow the teachings of Lord Krishna from the Bhagavad Gita. That were the ideals of elders in the society, in the family. And because they were like this, everyone would follow them. That was eradicated from the education system, and 2-3 generations have come out of it. So that's why there is so much of Hindus are namesake Hindus. They are semi-atheist. Most of the Hindu boys, they follow God out of 2 reasons. You know what are 2 reasons? One is that he knows that he's introduced that जो चाहिए मांगो भगवान दे देंगे. So you have a list of things and you know you have to go and pray there. You will get it. So for our needs, we go to God. And second thing, we may not have faith on God, but we will think, फिर भी मांग लेते हैं, इनके सही में भगवान है और नहीं देंगे फिर. इससे अच्छा है रिस्क लेने की जरूरत नहीं है, सारे कर लेंगे, जहाँ मंदिर देंगे, करते करते चलते रहो, सबको लेके लो, आगे बढ़ो. You know, like that is something we practice, no? Isn't it true? Most of the Hindus, they have no philosophical understanding. कुछ पता ही नहीं है भगवान कौन है, क्यों है, जो करते. इतना ही society ऐसा, the society is designed in such a way that money is everything. Money, 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 sweeter than honey. You know, if you don't have money, you are good for nothing. And the whole education system is designed as in such a way that we just have to be very much in a pressure that we should be able to earn money. One is self gratification. Co-education system, you have opposite sex around, you just make jokes, see the female, be happy about it, talk about it, and then the second thing is that you should know how, you should be looking forward how to earn money. That's it. This is in nutshell the human form of life all about. Isn't it true? No? In that थोड़ा picture है, घर लेना है, ये है, वो. अभी तुम लोग तो स्टूडेंट हो, तुमको पता नहीं अभी. It will come eventually. But eventually it leads to that, In student life, work towards career, and then there is no spirituality. And because there is no spirituality, there is no purity, there is no culture. And what is left is complete dirty consciousness. Dirty consciousness means unclean life. People like, if you see, many of you must have seen your grandparents taking bath early in the morning. The first thing they will do, isn't it true? How many of you seen your grandparents getting up early morning and taking bath first? How many of you seen grandparents doing that, right? But you don't do that. And we don't feel like doing it. We don't feel the value towards it. In fact, we feel that आज कल बात ले लूंगा सुबह डायरेक्ट गर्म पानी से. Isn't it true? लेट हो गया तो कल बात ले लूंगा डायरेक्ट गर्म पानी से. हाँ? Isn't it true? We are going and degrading unclean clothes. This is degradation. See, it is said, what you become with what you associate. You become with what your surroundings are. So getting up early was a culture. Now culture is that उठे तो ठीक है, लेट हो गया तो अगले दिन नहा लेंगे. Dirty. You should sometimes smell your body. Hey, goat, you've seen a goat? बकरी का बास 1 घंटा 2 दिन नहीं नहाएगा तो whole body stinks like a goat. And then we have a deodorant also. Powder water डाल दिया. Like that culture we are living in. And it is okay. Go on, And then, like I was, telling about the families, joint families, society, Vedic culture. But as the British education was introduced, slowly, they took away all Ramayana and Mahabharata out of our education system. And then what was left was degree. You have to be intelligent to get a degree. Degree will be a piece of paper in the hand, and then you have to go and tell people, I have this piece of paper, I'm a very wise guy, please accept me in your company. You're programmed like this from your childhood, साहब मैं बहुत अच्छा हूँ, ये देखो मेरे पास पेपर भी है, आप मुझे अपने कंपनी में ग्रहण कर लो, मेरा जिंदगी बन जाएगा. It is not like that. Shastras doesn't teach us like this. Whenever I give a session to the youths, I always ask this question. So far, the same family is the richest family. Which is the richest family in India? Ambani's. Adani's are coming up sometime and again going down. Consistently, so far is Ambani's, right? Mukesh Ambani has how many children? How many say 2? Huh? Children I said, not boy and girl. I didn't say कितने लड़के हैं मुकेश को. Then how many kids they have? 3. Okay. So did the children of Mukesh Ambani, did they work hard to become rich? Or they were born rich? Are you serious? How will you know that? How do you know they didn't work? Make sure before you answer. Were they born rich or did they work hard to become rich? Are you sure? Pakka? Okay. Why? But why I was not born there? Why he was born? Huh? So, all of you agree because of their past karma, they were born rich, right? So they didn't work hard, right? I'm talking about this life. Past karma, have you seen they worked hard or they must have done bhakti only? And some bhakti, there are many other reasons. Keep your intelligence away. I can debate on that. I'm talking about this lifetime. Did anyone see them working hard? They were born rich. Why? Because of their prarabdha karma. Does that apply to all of us? Does that apply to all of us? That we are born according to our karma? And nothing is going to change. If you don't perform devotional service, nothing will change. See, this is the philosophy. That you are accepting. But I will tell you, Baba, तुम्हारे किस्मत में जितना लिखा है उतना ही मिलने वाला है मेरे भाई, कितना भी तुम घिस लो. Many of course you all are very nice students. When I go to When I used to go to NIT Surat and other intelligent college, boys will feel offended. ऐसे कैसे बोल सकते हैं हम लोग इतना झक मारा के पढ़ के इधर डिग्री लेके इधर आए डिग्री लेने और ये महाशय पहले साल में हमको बोल रहा है कुछ जितना लिखे है उतना ही मिलेगा. But it is the truth. It is truth. It is truth. How can you run away from the truth, you know? It is to you. Sometimes, for example, when I was, and this world is like a fairy tale, today's modern civilization, it is designed in such a way that if you are fair, you will feel you are Salman Khan. If you are little Saula, you will feel you are Shah Rukh Khan. And if you are very dark, you will feel fair and lovely, okay, Shah Rukh Khan jaise to ho jaunga. Everyone thinks like that, Everyone thinks he's a hero, or little adjustment in his face and little hairstyle, he'll become a smart guy, First is material attachment, position, external appearance, and that's how this world, when you are not introduced to pure knowledge of Krishna consciousness, then this ignorance, illusion becomes truth. You understand? This illusion becomes truth. One day I asked a question to one of my senior. He was telling me that actually I was asking, it was in regard to, he gave a session, small description about sex life. So I was actually 20 years old boy coming to the temple. It was to Bhima Prabhu. So I asked him, Prabhu, God has only made sex. So why is that we are entangled with it here? So he told very nicely. He gave a very nice answer. He said, those who are not qualified to go to the spiritual world, where there is no problems, completely blissful life, those who are not qualified to go there, they need to be here and they need to be felt that there is enjoyment here. This is sex is meant for that. And this was 20 years ago. It was, sense gratification was not so easily available at that time also. So I did not click. Now with the smartphones, I'm convinced about it. The kind of distraction, like for example, see, as soon as this boy grows up, because he is not coming from a Vedic cultured life now, and parents are also not following the Vedic life nice properly. So every boy, as soon as after puberty, he has a pressure. And then he is introduced to pornography, masturbation, and then pornography, friends and girlfriends and all these things. These are like the common things every youth. And if you cannot do this, faltu aadmi hai. You cannot do this. There's people will just make joke of you, make tingle of you, make fun of you. This is how life is today. Isn't it true? And then you just compare it. You just compare the same approach of sense gratification, sex life, to Vedic culture. Now in the Vedic culture, is not free of sex. There is sex. There is sex. But how is it approached? How is it approached? Yeah, but how? See, we Indians are so fortunate to have this culture. Simple example. If a boy and girl are of marriage age, what happens? First, the mother and father are searching for a boy for their girl, and the father and mother are searching for a girl for their boy. And they will check the astrology, they will match the families, caste and everything. And then after that, they will fix a date or they will fix an engagement. And they will have gathering, there will be discussion, and then there will be some negotiation, and marriage date will be fixed, right? Correct? And then there will be marriage ceremony and a grand preparation. How many of you seen your brother's or uncle's marriage? All of you must have seen some marriage, right? It's a grand preparation, correct? It's a grand preparation. Now, everyone who comes for the marriage, there is special arrangement. What is arrangement for them? Nice food. Correct or not? Nice food, correct? And then after that marriage is done and everyone goes on. And what do the girl and boy do? Seek blessing. And then They unite. They have sex, they unite, they have produced a child, right? No, it's the same sex. But in the Vedic culture, how is it approached? Huh? It is approached in a very spiritual way, as a duty, as a responsibility, as an activity in which you have to seek blessings of the seniors. Correct? Correct or not? All of you agree with this? But you see, in the street, a dog also has a sex with a bitch. Correct? Do they do all these things? But today, young generation is having sex like that. So this culture, modern civilization has made us worse than a dog. Correct or not? Because we are not educated the purpose of it. We are not educated the purpose of it. And every single thing in the society is like this today. Vedic civilization teaches that be very attached to your mother and try to see every woman as your mother except your wife. Modern civilization doesn't speak about it. It just speaks enjoy. Isn't it true? Just like a dog. Vedic civilization says, when you look at a woman, don't glance her for the second time and develop lust in your mind. Don't contaminate your mind. Modern civilization doesn't speak about it. In fact, there is sex education. They will teach you how to use a condom. Or they will teach a girl how to take birth pills. I don't know if nowadays if they teach in the schools and colleges. Do they? Because YouTube is teaching that, no? When we were there, it was just introduced. But nowadays it's not there. Completely degraded. And Maya's strongest energy is now YouTube and Facebook. You by mistake see something wrong, it will make sure every time you see that. It traces you what you do. And it just brings up again and again, dekho, dimag ko kharab karo. Whereas Vedic civilization teaches, no, this is sinful. It will make your mind contaminated. You will become more greedy, lusty by these things. Nobody speaks about these things. Nobody speaks about sense control. Brahmacharya is taught in the youth. In the youth, one is taught brahmacharya. Brahmacharya means discipline, sense control. And you see some of you sitting here only. Some of you sitting here only who are actually wanting to rise above animal life and become a human will hear it. Those who are not, you will amongst your friend only, they will tell you, अरे ये तो प्रभु जी का सुन रहा है, इसको देख जरा चैंटिंग कर रहा है, अभी फोन नहीं देख रहा है, आजकल पागल हो गया ये साला. Your friends will tell you sitting here. Like that. Because it is said, there is one story, Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur says, 1 paisa circus. 1 paisa circus. You know what does this mean? In a village there was a circus. And in that circus, there was a big queue. And the rule of the circus was, give 1 paisa and one person will go inside, see the whole circus alone, come out, and then the second person will go. So there was a big queue. The person coming out would look at the people in the queue and stare at them. And they would ask, kaisa tha? ये नहीं देखा तो क्या देखा? They would tell. So everyone with enthusiasm will go inside. Then later on, they came to know what happens in that circus. As soon as one person goes in, there were different chambers in that circus. So as soon as you enter the first room, so there are 2 people with boxing gloves. And before you say anything, they start punching you. Dhap, 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 dhap. And then you go to the next room, there is a ice. And in the ice, they put some salt, and then there is hunter. And they remove your clothes and beat you. And then there is another room. Like this, there are many chambers. And in the last chamber, they dress you up very nicely, put makeup and send you out. And when you come out, you see the people. And you think, साला मेरा 1 पैसा गया और इतने फटके पड़े, इसका क्यों बचना चाहिए, जाने दो इनको भी सर. So from this story, Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur, he says that this material world is like this. People who are very attached to sinful life, pornography, sense gratification, they will never like the other friends who want to become pure and sincere to grow. मतलब मैं गिरा हुआ हूँ गटर में, ये कैसे उठेगा, हट खींचो उसको अंदर वापस, है ना, like that. That is how society is today, degraded totally. God nobody knows. In fact, Hindus will ask, भगवान को किसने बनाया? Have you seen? Hindus will ask, भगवान को किसने बनाया? And Srila Prabhupada gave answers to all these things. Anyone knows भगवान को किसने बनाया? Anyone has an answer to this question? Yes?
प्रभु जी, इस भगवान को किसी ने बनाया होगा तो खुद भगवान होते हैं, तो भगवान इज द ओरिजिन ऑफ गॉड, अगर भगवान किसी से बनते हैं तो वो भगवान होते हैं.
Good, good. Any other answers?
स्वयं हुए भगवान,
हाँ,
स्वयं हुए, स्वयं मतलब खुद ही पहुंचे, किसी ने बनाया नहीं.
ठीक है. हम लोग क्यों माने उसको?
शास्त्र बोलते हैं।
शास्त्रों को भी हम नहीं मानते. गीता है ही नहीं, ऐसे बनाया गया माइथोलॉजी.
लेक्चर में प्रभुपाद कहते हैं कि भगवान ने क्रिएट किया, तो जो क्रिएट करता है तो फिर उसको किसी ने क्रिएट नहीं किया, वो इंडिविजुअल है.
ठीक है, हम प्रभुपाद को नहीं मानते.
इस दुनिया में हवा है, पानी है, ये सारी जो चीजें हैं वो किसी ने बनाया नहीं. तो इसको बोल सकते हैं कि ये भगवान द्वारा मेड है, तो हम मान सकते हैं कि भगवान.
हमको मानना ही नहीं है ये सब. हाँ ठीक है, भगवान ने क्यों है वो? Srila Prabhupada in his conversations, in his books, many places he mentions, we have to know this answer. Who made God? You know? So we should bring to, whenever a question आता है, first we should bring it to our own intelligence. That our own intelligence has a limitation to think. Correct? ये क्वेश्चन तो हमारे इंटेलिजेंस से आया ना. हमारे इंटेलिजेंस को लिमिट है कि नहीं? How many of you agree that our intelligence have limit? Don't have limit. Everyone agree? Our mind starts working only after our birth. Anyone knows his mind was working before his birth? Correct? Second thing, can anyone think before his birth date? No. Correct? You agree with that? Can we think before our birth date? No. So, our mind has a limitation. No, it is bound by time. Time है कि नहीं? आपके बर्थ के टाइम के बाद ही आप सोच सकते हो. करेक्ट? तो हमारी सोच कहां से चालू होती है? बर्थ टाइम से. करेक्ट? बर्थ टाइम से. और जब हम लोग बोलते हैं भगवान को किसने बनाया, हु मेड गॉड, वॉट एवर इज मेड कम्स इन टाइम. करेक्ट? समझ आ रहा है? वॉट एवर इज मेड, मेड मतलब जो बनाया जाता है, इट इज कम्स इन टाइम. डज द पर्सन हु मेड टाइम कम्स विद इन टाइम और बियॉन्ड टाइम? सो दैट इज गॉड. इटर्नली एवर एग्जिस्टिंग बियॉन्ड आवर सेंस परसेप्शन. समझ आया? इटर्नली, इटर्नली मतलब हमेशा से है, हमारे बुद्धि के ऊपर जिन्होंने समय को बताया बनाया है, जहां हमारा दिमाग शुरू होता है. So this is how Srila Prabhupada gives a very simple answer, but nobody knows it. समझा कि नहीं समझा? No? हाँ? Okay. The anything which is created comes within the time. The creator of the time doesn't come within the time. And Krishna says in the Bhagavad Gita, Kalo Asmi, I am the time. So that's why he is beyond the time. Beyond the time means हमारे 24 घंटे के अंदर कृष्ण नहीं बैठते हैं और हमारे कैलेंडर के अंदर नहीं बैठते हैं. He creates the calendar. That's why he is above the calendar, above the time. He He is creator of the time, eternally, ever existing. Samjha? This is what is there in the Vedic science. This is not taught to you. They only tell you that there was a big blast and everything came to existence. And Prabhupada said, today morning I was hearing, he said, Prabhupada, they said that there was a big blast. There was a big blast and everything came into existence. Prabhupada said, we see so many bomb blasts in the wars and battles. We never see a new city and a village and station coming out of a blast. And what is they say? Who are they? They are nonsense. I can also, so they say, our days, our acharyas, Bhagavad Gita and Krishna. What are they? Why we should listen to their they? We don't believe in their they. They, who are they? Scientists, who are they? Like that. Just a simple example. Creation can, the famous story of Newton? Famous story of Newton. Very beautiful story. Kuch tension, Newton and Einstein, they are very strong God believers. They believed in supernatural power. When the atheistic science came, they actually completely seized the thesis. It is said that Einstein, whatever theories he made at the age of 14. After that, he wrote many theses on God, which the modern science is not showing. He said Newton had one atheist friend. So that atheist friend was not believing in God. So Newton, he made actually a architecture of a solar system. And he put some battery to it and it started operating. So his friend who was did not believe in God. So he came to meet him. So when he came to meet him, the friend told him, "Arey, this is so beautiful. And how did you make it?" So Newton said, "No, I did not make it. Actually, I slept last night and when I got up on my table only I saw it was there." He said, "Hey, pagal, कुछ ही बोलता है, झूठ बोल रहा है मुझे. Do you think I'm a fool?" I said, "No, I'm seriously telling. By chance it just came up. I was sleeping and suddenly I woke up and I saw this thing on my table rotating on its own. Just by chance it came up." He said, "Nothing comes by chance." Then Newton told him, "Acha, just the architecture of the original solar system cannot come by chance, and then you believe that this whole solar system which is so perfectly operating, no planets are dashing each other. How it can happen by chance? Can it happen by chance? No." So that's how Newton defeated his atheistic friend. Of course, because of no Krishna consciousness, because of not having spiritual knowledge, we also don't know all these things. But we have intelligence. Many times when we are giving lecture, students are watching. कहाँ ये कुछ गलत बोले और मैं उसको क्वेश्चन पूछूं? Isn't it true? Young devotees are generally always very intellectually. They don't want to accept defeat. But Bhagavad Gita knowledge will defeat you. How you can defeat Bhagavad Gita's knowledge? There's no chance. So one day I was giving a class. I was a new preacher. It was actually in Bhiwandi. There was one coaching classes at Daman Karnaka. I forgot the name. No, not Gurukul. No. Pioneer. Anyway, it was in 2004. 2004, above that Brajvasi Kulfi, now it's Cafe 9. Above that, forgot. So I gave a class there. So I gave a class on the soul, that we are not this body, we are a spiritual. The soul is situated in the heart of the living. Soul is situated in the heart. So that was one intelligent boy, and this was my second session. So he told me, "Prabhuji, एक बात बताओ." He said, "आपने बोला हार्ट, सोल हार्ट में होता है, तो आप मुझे एक बात बताओ, अमीबा का सोल किधर है?" अमीबा. All of you know अमीबा? एक अमीबा का एक शेप नहीं है एक तो. So I was like, I just speculated something and came to my senior. Then I asked him, "Prabhuji, I went to give a session, I gave the whole session, one boy asked me this question." He said, "Now you go and tell him that the soul is situated in the center point of the living entity, the living species. Whichever is the center point of the living species, that is what the soul is. For the human being, it is in the heart. For amoeba, you tell him to find out, and there the soul is. You tell him to find out where the soul, center point of the body is, of the amoeba, and that's where the soul is sitting. So that's how you grow when, you get knowledge when you read, when you associate with devotees. And then of course the most important thing, as I said, senses have to be controlled. What? Indriya Daman. Brahmacharya means you have to control your senses. Srila Prabhupada gives a very beautiful example of how the senses should be controlled. By not giving it what it wants, but giving it in a very cultured way. So that it learns the purpose of it and gets educated how to live a human life. By controlling senses. At the time there was no co-education. That's a different subject. So Prabhupada mentioned that senses have to be controlled like a wild tiger is trained in a zoo. You heard that? A wild tiger trained in a zoo. He said, first a ferocious tiger will be caught in the jungle. And the tiger will be put in a cage, big cage. And the whole day, for a few days, the tiger, tiger will make noise, like because he's like the king of the jungle, he will make noise, inside the cage, And everyone will be running here and there, all other animals will run, but he will be in the cage. Ferocious. Then, after 1 week, he will just, but same cage is going here and there. You seen zoo cage? Not zoo, sorry, circus cage. Here and there, angrily. Sometimes he's making noise. And then after 10 days, his walking has become slow. And sometimes he's sitting, just chup chap. Because they don't feed the tiger. After they catch him, they don't feed him for 1 month. So he's worrying. Then after that, he just sits down. And sometimes some master will come, hey! So he'll look up with a very sorry face. And then after 20 days, he feels, my God, these guys are going to feed me something and I'm going to die like this. This is my future. The whole natak, whole ferociousness, whole anger, passion, everything finished, no? And then timely is looking here and there. I'm going to die like this, the king of the jungle. Then after, the ringmaster comes with a hunter. And he opens the cage. And he looks at the tiger. Tiger looks at him, only taking the eyes little up. With great difficulty. And then the hunter, the cane master, he has a hunter. He takes the hunter, and tiger looks here and there. My God, did he kill me? Am I still alive? He looks, and then second time then he throws the meat off. Piece of small meat piece. Thak karke. Then after 25 days, he eats a little bit meat. And then some liquid comes in his throat, Then again he caves on. Again he becomes very fearful, but little energy is now. Hands are moving, legs are moving, little energy is there. And then he gets up. Then the master takes him outside and shows him. So he understood, I have to go out. I may get one more piece of meat. So he goes out, no energy, great difficulty. Then there are some stools of different size. Then the master will put hand on one of the stool. Another under. He will put hand and stand and look with depression. He throws another piece of meat. And then he eats. And then this wild tiger, who was so ferocious in the jungle, becomes a completely tamed tiger. As soon as the master shows the hand, he will jump. He understands. If I follow him, I will get my food and I will be happy and alive. If I don't follow him, he has hunter also. So Srila Prabhupada says that just like a wild tiger is tamed, he says in the human form, our mind is also like a wild tiger. It will run here and there, shout and cry and drag you to fulfill all its sinful desires. But what one is supposed to do? Under the guidance of a spiritual master, under the guidance of a superior, one has to train his mind, wild mind, by following the process of sadhana bhakti, which begins with waking up early in the morning, chanting the holy names of the Lord. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. In this way, one actually makes his life perfect. Very simple process by chanting the holy name of Krishna. And one who follows the process of the Krishna consciousness, the Bhagavatam, the Bhagavad Gita, Krishna takes care of them. Krishna personally takes care of his devotees. In every situation of life, Krishna will take care of us. The famous story of Mahabharata, wherein we know that Duryodhana, who was the eldest of the Kauravas, he actually, the Pandavas, we know that Krishna went to negotiate to avoid the battle. And Duryodhana said, I will not give him even one land as much to put a needle in the earth. एक सुई भर जमीन नहीं दूंगा. Forget about. Krishna says, give them 5 villages, and whole kingdom is yours. No. So then the war was unavoidable. So then we know Gandhari and Dhritarashtra, they knew their son is in the side of adharma. But still, what to do to support? So Gandhari, she calls Duryodhana. And she tells her that you please come completely like you were born to me, which means naked. As you were born to me, you come. Because of her chastity, she had that shakti, that strength, that she wanted to glance at Duryodhana so that she knew that Bhima would defeat him in the war, and he should not get defeated in the war. She wanted to give him that shakti that his body would become like an iron just by the glance. So Duryodhana actually walks from his palace towards the palace of Gandhari naked. All of you know the story? Yes. And who comes there? So the Mahabharata battle ended with the battle of Bhima and... But Krishna, for his devotee, fixed the game way before even Mahabharata started. When Duryodhana was going like this, Krishna came on the way and he smiled. Duryodhana started searching here and there. Who is that? And he saw Krishna. And Krishna said, what happened to you? Some mental disease, or are you awake? Night walk, they say no. Neend mein chalna. No, I mean you went to the washroom and you slept there and suddenly neend mein chalo. What exactly happened, So then he explained. I said, no. Your mother told you come like a child doesn't mean you have to go like that. Just take some leaves and grasses and patta and go. So he covered his back and front portion and went. And then same Krishna told Bhima. Isn't it true? So by this we can understand Krishna is so kind to his devotees. And a devotee should only have this faith that Krishna will take care. We are born with our karma. The kind of family, the kind of surname, the kind of address. We look little bit like our mother and father or a grandfather. All destined, sab likha hua pehle se. You just have to become a devotee. Become a civilized human being. And Krishna will take care of everything else. Become a devotee of Krishna, Krishna will take care. And Krishna likes to take care of his devotees. Complete faith in God, in Krishna, makes a human life perfect. Makes a human life perfect. If we don't have faith, then finish. It's very difficult. And faith comes by, he said, ABC. Who was that you? ABC. The kind of you become with what you associate. जैसे दोस्तों के साथ आप रहोगे वैसे आप बनोगे, जैसे लोगों के साथ आप रहोगे वैसे आप बनोगे. It's very, very important that we have good association, wise association, and then our life will be perfect. That's all the human life is all about. In short, Hare Krishna. Thank you very much once again for coming, and I really want to thank our devotees who have made all these arrangements, specifically our Abhishek Prabhu, who tirelessly and is very tirelessly working and enrolling students for the courses, organizing the courses. And then we have Sri Sudama Prabhu in Bhiwandi with his team of Girish Prabhu and our Kaustubh Hari Prabhu. And then all the students who are helping, your name I forgot, Mayank, all the students from, and also from Ishan Gaur Prabhu in Surat with his team of students, senior boss, and all this preaching which is head by our Chaitanya Avatar Prabhu, who is actually directly guiding all the preachers and students and sharing. It is said that when one actually when one is very happy in his heart, that happiness increases by sharing this happiness. And Krishna consciousness is the most blissful thing. And by sharing, happiness increases. Consciousness. When you share Krishna consciousness. So extending yourself to introduce new students, bringing students to programs, giving them prasadam. I want to thank all of them for organizing this trip to Mumbai and conducting these regular programs. Everyone who's involved in this, I may not take name of everyone, but everyone who's leading it. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna. If there are any questions, I will take questions. Any questions you can ask.
Hare Krishna Prabhu. My name is Sumit and I'm from Sponge. I had a question about the thing which you said that soul is located in the center of the body. So, center of the body.
Center point of the body.
Center point of the body. So, do we have any reference from scriptures for this?
It is not a reference. It is just people are so intelligent, so they are left with their intelligence. Those who don't want to accept shastras, बोलते ना, जिसको जानना है उसको उसके तेल में जलने दो. Understand? Bhagavad Gita speaks about human being. Bhakti is for human being. Paramatma is situated in the heart. The soul is situated. Gita is telling that. If someone doesn't want to accept Gita, he wants to throw his intelligence, so we give them some intelligence. चल भाई चल, ढूंढते रहे सब स्पीशी का. You understand?
Yes,
There is no. Of course, Shastra says some places that the heart is the center of the body because from the where the heart pumps and everything it goes. So it is understood why the soul is sitting there because it's the place where the heart is the center point is there.
Prabhu, one more question is regarding heart transplants. So,
Suppose you are sitting on a chair. If I just change your chair, doesn't mean you die, no? You will die only when your death comes. So heart transplant is just like changing the chair. Understood? You will die when your time of death will come. Suddenly बोलता है ना कुछ भी नहीं था कल तक ठीक था चला गया. Nothing. The guy was perfectly fine few hours before चला गया. उसका time आया वो चला गया. And sometimes you see साला गाड़ी चढ़ गई ऊपर से first class है. His time has not come. It's like that. Understood? Good question. Give him the mic. Pass the mic here. आप प्रभुपाद अमेरिका जाने के पहले तो ये लिखा है ना क्या होता है कि सुनाई दिया प्रभुपाद इंडिया में पहले प्रीचिंग किए डिफिकल्टी तो अमेरिका गया ऐसा नहीं डिफिकल्टी था Prabhupada ji को Guru Maharaj का instruction, his spiritual master instructed him to go and preach in the Western world. But when he was preaching in India, he saw Indians were not ready to accept bhakti. They were more busy to follow America and London. So Prabhupada decided, let me get devotees from there, and this follows will follow the Americans and Europeans. That was one thing. But Prabhupada facing difficulty was because of the, I told you in the beginning, हम लोग को यहाँ पर आशा है कि अमेरिका को फॉलो करके हम खुश हो जाएंगे, और अमेरिका ऑलरेडी दुखी है. Like we have joint family system, from that it become to nuclear family, from nuclear family to it become throwing the mother and father in the old age homes, from there children leaving the family for jobs, and then children getting married and living somewhere, and then from the live-in relationship, and then now it's cutting into pieces the body. Isn't it true? Now it has come to that. So all this used to happen in America 25 years ago. Now it's more low. Now same sex, sex changing, male can become female, female can become gay marriage, gay community, gay father, gay mother, great grandfather, grandmother, grey mama, grey mommy, gay mommy, lesbian mommy, coming, it's all coming. So we are following them. So we feel, nahi idhar maja hai. So then Prabhupada said, let me leave them and let me follow my Guru's instruction. People were engrossed. अभी भी वही हालत है ना सबका. We are living on the bodily platform totally in India. Totally. All of you are sitting here so peacefully. Because you are all boys in a spiritual environment. It is so pure. The moment you go out in a place where you have opposite sex around, suppose I say today, now, I'm just thinking of a woman's name who's not in our group. Some Seema will come now and she will sing Kirtan. After the class she is coming. Immediately everyone will think, "Kaun hai ye Seema?" And I said, "Seema, sit down." And then अभी मैं देख रहा हूँ कब से 1.5 घंटे से कोई भी अपना बाल नहीं घुमा रहा है, कोई पैंट नहीं देख रहा है, कोई शर्ट नहीं देख रहा है, सब आराम से बैठे हैं. As soon as Seema will come and sit there, everyone. So the Shastra says the mere presence of a woman brings the man into bodily consciousness, external consciousness. Only a presence. That's why men were trained separately, women were trained separately. So what to speak about when you are living with them in a co-education? You're so degraded. So that degradation will be deep-rooted now. And that degradation is a progression in the material world. So ये तो स्टाइल मारने नहीं आता तो पागल है आदमी. Like the Shastra says, you put an intelligent person, you put a very powerful person, strong, and a very rich man, and a very strong man, and very intelligent man. Who will be respected on all times? Who will be respected? Power man, जब तक पावर है तब पूछेंगे, बाद में कुत्ता भी पूछेगा. Isn't it true? Rich man, जब तक पैसा है उसको पूछेंगे, पैसा गया तो. But an intelligent person, even if he gets old, everyone will surround him. Correct? And what to speak about one who is scholar in the Bhagavad Gita and practicing it? That intelligence. So that is the duty of Indians. Bharat bhumi to hailo janma yaar, janma sarthak kari karo par. Those who are born in India especially, their duty is to make their life perfect based on the teachings of Bhagavad Gita, and then help others, other nations to make their life perfect. So if you ask, the occupation of an Indian is to make their life spiritually perfect, and all the suffering humanity have to follow India. So Prabhupada wanted to wake up Indians on that, and we in ISKCON are putting all our efforts to do that. You can see, no? And I can see you in Dhoti Kurta. Any other questions? Give him first. He's already around for a long time.
So the question is, what enthusiasm must you have towards material duties and relations?
Very good question. He is telling what after आपने तो बोल दिया सब कर्म से है. अभी क्या करें, कल से स्कूल जाए कि कॉलेज जाए, क्या करें? Very good question. The point is that when we say that this is all based on karma, philosophy, human life is meant for performing bhakti, but one cannot neglect his duties. But duties should be performed with knowledge that this is truth and I will try my best. You should not be overly attached to the results and to the duties, but you should fulfill the duties with this knowledge that everything is in control of Krishna. And I will try my best, whatever he gives, I will happily accept it. That's how you should perform your duties. You are a student, maintain your purity, be in good association, do chanting, attend classes, read books, do your japa in the morning, and do your studies. That's what one should do. Duties cannot be neglected. In fact, Arjuna did not want to fight, right? In the battlefield, he is a king and a Kshatriya, a warrior, and he was standing in the side of Dharma. The opposite party was Adharma, and he didn't want to fight. What did Krishna tell? Fight! So Krishna is telling, but he gave the knowledge of Bhagavad Gita. Fight with this knowledge. Perform your duties with knowledge. And then, most important thing is, spiritual path is always under the guidance of a superior. For example, I may say something like we should take brahmacharya training, we should take spiritual life seriously, but every individual is in a different situation. Like one student was there, so he went home in NIT Surat when I was preaching. He was in the first year. So we heard the camp and I gave a bombastic class like this only. So he went and to his parents he said, ऐसा हम लोग नरक में जाएंगे, ऐसा करेंगे तो ये है वैसा, ये sinful है, मीट नहीं खाना चाहिए. Father sent the mother out and locked the door. Locked the door, removed the cane. Sata, sata. The boy was practically running on the wall to save himself. You know. Then he called and told Prabhuji, पापा ने इतना धुलाई किया, सब जगह ग्रीन ग्रीन हो गया. क्या करूँ मैं? मतलब कौन बोला पापा को प्रीच करने के लिए? Who told you? Don't preach to your family and friends. Don't preach to them. That's what you should ask from your seniors, what you should do. So I told him, what happened? No, they are telling me to watch this movie, you have to come. I said, yeah, you tell that I want to watch a match rather than a movie. कैसे भी करके deal with the situation, come in association, come for the Sunday program, spend the free time in the temple, like that, and in this way, grow. So some intelligence have to be applied, Just like you see pornography, some students come across it. You don't go and tell, Maiya, mummy, मैंने देखो ऐसे दोस्त लोग ने बताया. You're not honest in that, isn't it? That you are not honest. उसको छुपा के रखना. और ये जाके गाय बनना है, अफीलात खाना है. So you have to apply a little intelligence dealing with these things.